In a world of superpowers and political giants, there's one small island that rewrote the rules of survival. Just 90 miles from Florida's shores lies Cuba, a nation that stood toe-to-toe with the world's mightiest superpower and somehow lived to tell the tale. Picture this. It's 1959, and Cuba has just witnessed a revolution that would change everything. Fidel Castro and his rebels have overthrown a US-backed dictator, and what happens next? The most powerful nation on Earth becomes their sworn enemy. But here's where it gets interesting. Most countries would have crumbled under the pressure, not Cuba. For over 60 years, they've weathered storms that would have sunk nations 10 times their size. CIA operations, they survived them. The Bay of Pigs invasion? Failed. Nuclear standoff? They stood their ground. You might be wondering, how does a small Caribbean island of 11 million people thumb its nose at a superpower of 330 million? The secret lies in a perfect storm of geography, determination, and some seriously clever survival tactics. Think about this. Cuba sits just 90 miles from Florida, close enough to see American lights on a clear night. It's like having a lion's den in your backyard. And yet Cuba didn't just survive. They developed their own unique path. While the US tried economic strangulation through embargoes, Cuba built one of the world's most resilient healthcare systems. When they lost Soviet support in the 90s, they created the world's largest organic farming revolution. But perhaps the most fascinating part of Cuba's story isn't about politics at all. It's about human resilience. Despite decades of isolation, Cubans maintained their vibrant culture, their music, their art. They turned old American cars into mechanical masterpieces that still run today. They developed medical breakthroughs despite limited resources. The truth is, Cuba's greatest weapon wasn't missiles or military might. It was adaptability. When the world said no, Cuba found a way to say, "Watch us." They turned limitations into innovations and isolation into independence. So next time you hear about David versus Goliath, remember this. Sometimes the smallest players on the world stage can write the most extraordinary stories of survival. Cuba didn't just survive, they rewrote the rule book on standing up to a superpower.